going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're Mouth of the Mark. I'm Matt. He's Dan. We've got 45 minutes until Monday Night Raw, so we're going to make this fast. But we're here, and we're going to review Royal Rumble. Daniel, how have you been? We've been on a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, life happens. Life gets in the way. It's what happens when you're an adult and you have bills and stuff. And little guy's doing well. But yeah, dude, I'm super stoked about it. I'm super stoked to be back on the show, and I loved the entire card last night. I thought Royal Rumble was an A+ job, front to bottom.
It's been a long time since I have thoroughly enjoyed a Royal Rumble from top to bottom, and I actually enjoyed everything from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock on that card. But we're gonna get into it, man, because we're not gonna do it the pre-show. Pretty much all you need to know from the pre-show is that they totally did not go with what was advertised at all, and they decided to do something completely different. Give a bunch of more people a Royal Rumble payday, apparently. Mizdow got a great pop, just so y'all know.
Sandow officially back to Sandow again.
Yep. Sandow got a good pop. Back to the I greater than you gimmick, which was fantastic. Jack Swagger and Mark Henry wasted 2 spots by winning and being in the Royal Rumble. That's all you need to know. So now that we're past that colossal waste of time, let's move on to the fun stuff, because they opened the night with Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title in a last man standing match. And holy shit. This was my match of the night. Like, above the Rumble.
What a great match. Yeah. Now that I'm looking, at the actual grading, I think this is match of the night for sure. This got an A+ from me. I don't have a single bad thing to say, and I generally can find Ambrose match, but it was really good. And speaking on this break, he's been doing some phenomenal work. He's been a whole lot less hokey, a whole lot less corny, and ridiculously over the top. I feel like he's kind of really starting to get it and being a little less early 90s crazy superstar. You know what I mean? This match is an A+ for me.
Yeah, without a doubt, this was an A+ effort by both guys, and it really proves that Owens is a mainstay. Like, the only bad match that Kevin Owens has had in WWE was the match with Ryback, and you cannot fault him for that. And the thing is like, this match was great, not only from a spot standpoint in a last man standing match, but it was great from a psychology standpoint too. Like just the subtle things of like setting up a prop and then it just disappearing completely off of camera for like 5 minutes. And then the tables are the perfect example, where Owens sets up the tables and they're just gone for 5 minutes. Like, you don't even see that corner of the ring for 5 solid minutes. And then it's the final bump of the night. Like, just little shit like that, like, because I listen to a lot of Stone Cold podcasts, like, I pick up on little things like that now, because he talks about like psychology all day, so like,
yeah, he's got my favorite podcast, by the way. Like, he is my favorite one to listen to, hands down.
He's my favorite to listen to on a regular basis. If I randomly just pick one every now and again, my favorite is between JR and Taz. Because I like the Taz show, but I just can't do it 24/7. I get too snarky.
It's too much programming. It's too much, man.
It's not that it's too much programming. It's just that I'm from the South, and my Southern hospitality starts to disappear, and I just start getting really snarky like a Northerner. Like,
yeah, that too. I feel maybe that's what it is, honestly. That and he bashes the Patriots all the time, and I just can't have that.
No, of course you can't. Sorry for your loss, by the way.
I'm talking about it.
Rest in peace.
We're on to the next season.
Super Bowl don't matter now.
Nope, not at all. Hey, but the good news about that is that I can actually go to a Super Bowl party, because if the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, I'd have to sit at my house by myself, be as hell the entire game. No way I could be around people. I would be the most excited person in the room, and so that can't happen either. I don't want to be a YouTube sensation. So
you don't want to be.
It works out. Now I get to go to the Super Bowl party.
But you don't want to be a YouTube sensation, and yet here we are posting videos on YouTube. Your logic is flawed, good sir.
You know what I mean. I don't want to be on those. I don't want to be on one of those not so top 10 ESPN moments.
Come on, man. You could get.
This will probably be pulled just for that.
You could get a night on Jimmy Fallon, like for a viral video.
Yeah,
You never know. So,
that's
but
true.
yeah, man. After Ambrose and Owens tore the house down, like that match was an A plus. I
Yeah,
don't think we need
tore
to
it down.
even. Yeah, we don't even need to go any further with that because that is just a given.
Yeah.
And then they did. Did they do Del Rio after that, or did they do the tag titles after that? Tag titles. Okay, good match. Thought it went on maybe 2 minutes too long, 3 minutes too long. It could have done without a couple of the false finishes, but that's nitpicking. Another A plus match. Xavier Woods had the best spot of the night, even like with his promo before the match. What happened to Francesca? I ain't gonna grieve forever. A brother has needs. Like that was like the best line of
Yeah,
the
that's
night.
amazing. That was
You know?
amazing. Amazing. Excellent promo. Excellent match. I agree. It went on a little too long. It got clunky in a few spots, but they recovered really well. And the DDT spot that Woods had on the outside was really great. I popped kind of hard for that one. So I gave the match overall like an A, like a 4 to 3.5, out of 5. Like that's where I put it.
I'm in the
Really
same.
good.
I'm in the same spot. I'm in the same spot as you, like a 3.5 to 4 star match. I really thought that it'll be advantageous to turn the Usos heel sooner rather than later, because
Yes,
they
I
got
agree.
they got some heat last night, and New Day was pretty over. So I think
Smart crowd for sure.
it's
I mean, because
weird,
NXT they've had TNA.
right?
I mean,
But like Orlando hasn't notoriously been a smart crowd for WWE. You know what I mean? Like not like it's recent memory that it's become a smart crowd. Really, since NXT
yeah,
has
for
become a
sure.
mainstay. You know,
Yeah,
you notice it more in WWE now than before. You
yeah,
know, like I mean, I know you had your TNA crowds, but TNA their deal with Universal Studios was that they had to give away tickets to people who were in Universal Studios. So it's not like they had wrestling fans paying for tickets. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
there's a different feel to an Orlando crowd now, and I'm anxious to see how Miami's going to be tonight. I think Miami's going to be a little
Yeah,
crazy tonight. So
yeah. I mean, and then being in Miami, I'm not even. Me and Nixon talked about this, but we're both pretty positive the Rock's going to be on the show tonight.
there's already a picture of him arriving at the arena.
Oh
It's
yeah,
him.
yeah.
The
I didn't know that, but
the teaser of the major superstar returning, it's him. And if it's not him, then they're gonna do like they should have done and waited until after the Rumble for Bryan to come back, which I'll pop for. I don't care. But I'm starting to think that we're never gonna see him again.
no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
They'll pay him to sit on his couch and
Yeah,
do nothing.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, dude, and they'll probably offer him another contract for the same amount of money just because they don't want
They
to
don't
see
want
him
him to
go
wrestle
somewhere
anywhere
else.
else.
But it's too big of a risk to even have him. So, dude, he's the biggest anomaly I think of all time in the wrestling business because he's so over that you cannot afford to lose him. But then at the same
Not only
time, you cannot risk putting him on TV and having something happen when you're a multi-billion-dollar company. You know what I mean? Like you can't. So I see both sides totally, and I understand that he choice. It's his life. It's his body. But man, it's rough. It's rough. I don't think we're ever going to see him again, though.
I don't think we're going to see him again in the E. I think that if he wants to wrestle bad enough, he's going to turn down the money and go to Japan or to Ring of
That's
Honor.
where he would go for sure. I think he would go back.
I think he would do better in Japan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but after that, so after the tag titles was the U.S. title, because ironically, before the WWE title, they let the Divas technically main event the title matches. Technically, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I actually like the fact that Kalisto won. I really thought it was a stupid idea for him to drop it at SmackDown right after winning it on Raw. I thought that was a bad choice. I don't know. I like what they're doing with him because like he just took punishment all match, dude. Del Rio was all over him.
Yeah.
They're really doing a good job of utilizing him as like the next incarnation of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, he's
that's
not
exactly
Rey.
what he is.
But he's not.
No,
he's not Rey.
but
It's just he can play that underdog lucha role very well,
yes.
and he's got
Yes.
the moveset of WCW Rey Mysterio Jr., which
Yeah.
is awesome. You know,
Yeah,
because
which Ray
WWE.
never really had in the WWE. But to his credit, he adapted his style and it worked out. I mean, he'd had some great matches in WWE for
Well, and
sure.
that's what I was gonna
Post
say.
knee injuries and all that. And good matches. But his style was totally different than it was. Like Halloween Havoc against Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean? I never saw that out of Rey Mysterio in the WWE.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. You know, WWE had a great grab with Rey Mysterio, but it wasn't Rey Mysterio Jr. from WCW. Like it wasn't that cruiserweight WCW Rey Mysterio, and they've really got that with Kalisto now. And I really
Yeah.
think that his body will hold up more than Rey's. I think we'll get lucky there. Um, so we'll see. The match itself, I gave it a 4 star. It was a pretty solid match. Um, but again, another one where I thought it went a little too long, a little too much heat on the heel, for the babyface. But
Yeah.
I can't complain about it. They have 3 hours of a pay-per-view to fill. What'd you think?
Yeah. I thought it was a really good match. I do feel like this was the one that mattered the least considering all of them were title matches. It was the one that I felt mattered the least to me, at least. And that's not like, I just feel like you can tell that that's their secondary angle. That's their, or even third. And to me, it's like, and it kind of shows how far the Divas have come to them being like like you were saying, they're considered like the singles main event. But like 2 or 3 years ago, the Divas match would have been right there where this match was, the cool down match before the singles main event. So and that's what I feel like this angle for them is. Like, I like Del Rio, I like Kalisto. I do think Del Rio is a little overrated, honestly, but I like them both. I just felt like I didn't really care as much, probably because of the flip-flopping with the titles, but I didn't really care as much. So to me, the match was surprisingly better than I expected it to be. So I gave the match, but I still only gave the match probably 3.5 to 4 stars. I gave it a B plus. So that was my grade on that one. And I thought the Divas match after it was about the same in my opinion.
Honestly, though, and see, I disagree on the Divas match. The only thing that really took away from the Divas match, I really didn't think that the whole Flair kissing Becky thing, like that didn't need to happen. Like that was a useless spot, I think, because Flair is such a personality that you don't need something like that to remind people that he's there as a manager. You know what I mean? I halfway through that match, I realized that like I wasn't looking at it like a Divas match. I was looking at it like a women's main event, which is exactly what they need to be doing with this. And Sasha coming out after just lays the groundwork to something fucking perfect. I expect a wonky finish at Fastlane, and then hopefully we'll either get just Sasha and Charlotte at Mania, or we'll get a triple threat between all three of them at Mania, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that everything post-match with Sasha was A+. A+. And it was almost like that should have been her debut. They should have kept her in NXT this entire time up until now. Just keep having classics with Bayley, because why not? Like, why did you bring her up and do the team bad thing for no real reason? Because dude, thank God for those fans. Thank God for fans like us that haven't forgotten how awesome she is, because she's really pretty much not even been on TV like wrestling. And I can probably count on one hand how many singles matches on TV Sasha Banks has had on the main roster, and she's still so over.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, the booking team was like, all right, let's just brush all of our shitty creative that we did with her under the rug. Let's pretend like it didn't happen. This Royal Rumble is her new debut. We're actually getting a second chance in the wrestling business, which never happens, to reintroduce her to the main roster without her being hurt, without really taking her off. I mean, I know she was hurt for a little while, but I think she got hurt at a house show, so it wasn't like in our minds, you know what I mean?
And it wasn't in an angle.
Yeah, and it wasn't an angle. So like everything post match was great, and it's like I love Becky Lynch, I love Charlotte, I love the women of the WWE this year. They've stepped their game up exponentially. I'm not being sexist. I just think that I've seen better matches. Two of them have better. I've just seen better both of them. Match, it just because they've been having. I was expecting a showstopper, and what I got was a really good match. You know what I mean? The post match was the showstopper, not the match itself. To me,
right? And I get that. Like I get that. Like And I guess I look at it differently where like I differentiate between NXT and WWE. Like I consider NXT its own thing. So when they came up, I took it as like a blank slate. So like this was our first glimpse of a true Divas Revolution on the main roster. Like it's gonna be these three. Like there's no Bellas, there's no Natalia, there's no Alicia Fox, there's none of like the model people right now. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to put Natalia in that group, but you know what I mean? Like it's the era of wrestlers who are women fighting for the
Yeah.
women's title. So like
Yeah,
that's
Paige. You got to
yeah,
keep her
Paige
in
for
there.
sure, obviously. But you know, the only thing that's missing, could you imagine if AJ was still here? Like just
Yeah.
so much good. So much good. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the same thing could be said for both of them. I mean, the Smarks all day would love to have AJ and CM Punk back, especially with, dude, come
Yeah.
on, Punk. I mean, and you know that I'm not a huge Punk fan, but I do think that a Punk versus Nakamura or a Punk AJ Styles, I mean, even though I saw it in TNA in Nashville, AJ Styles now where they have both evolved and are both good psychologists as well as spot guys, like, oh man, that would have been
Just
so sick. But
just this is the
you never
marquee.
know. Never say never. When
Yeah.
CM Punk has his first fight this year and gets his ass knocked out right away, you'll not hear about him for a little while, and then he'll probably end up wrestling again. I'd say in like 2018. Dude, I highly doubt we're never going to see him wrestle again. Maybe not in the WWE, but I think he's going to wrestle again.
I think he'll wrestle too. But here is your marquee. Are you ready? Here it is. The best in the world versus the phenomenal one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't have to put any advertisement out. That sells it.
But you know what? You know what I'm going to get instead that's going to be even better? The Man versus the phenomenal one. The Future
Yeah.
versus the phenomenal one. That when Rollins comes back and AJ's on top, that's going to be so epic.
Also, a match that I feel wrestling fans deserve if WWE could just take the bias out for a month. I don't care about the payoff, but for a month of storytelling, a solid month from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. The man of WWE, the face that runs the place, versus the man everywhere else. AJ Styles versus John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm just saying,
that's going to happen, I'm sure.
It's going to happen, but I'm so scared that they're just going to say, let's just bury the TNA Golden Boy. You know, like, and I'm sure that's what they'll do.
I don't think they're going to do that, man. TNA for so long now. And all of his heat is, all of his steam and the pop that he got is from Japan, man. Like, most of it is from his New Japan work. Because, honestly, when he was like, towards the end of his TNA run, he wasn't really working that good either. It wasn't just, I mean, at least from the matches that I saw. I mean, he was never bad, but he wasn't even what he was in like 05, 06, 07. And Ring of Honor. And everybody's like, oh, AJ's getting back there. He's getting back to being that guy. Then he went to New Japan, and it's like, man, he's better than he was ever. He's the best now he's ever been. And I don't think that they look at him as a TNA golden boy. I think they look at maybe even someone like Samoa Joe as more of a Ring of Honor TNA golden boy than they do an AJ Styles, because AJ Styles literally has been everywhere in the Indies and been huge everywhere. Like,
but just like, could you imagine that line though, where like Cena's just like Cena comes back from his injury, and he's like, blah blah blah, his little catchy line of, John Cena's the man to beat, blah 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 blah, and then AJ comes out. And like you just get the build up where it's like, you may be the man and the face here, but I've been the man everywhere.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like just that pop would just be so effortless.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I've watched that debut like 10 times today, and every time.
It's perfect, man. I'm so excited.
Number three, like
no, and
it blew my mind
for a long time, and I love Owens being his first angle. That's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm really pumped for AJ, man. I'm probably more pumped for AJ than a signing for the WWE in years and years and years. That's epically huge to me.
Yeah, AJ is the biggest signee that Hunter has. If Hunter did it, like if this is like a Hunter grab, this is his biggest grab.
See, I don't know. I mean, he went straight to the main, so it could
It
be
could
a
have been
Vince thing.
Vince.
And I
It
mean,
could have been Vince.
I think that Vince is getting soft in his old age. I think he wants to. I think he doesn't really. He just wants to win. He doesn't care about hurting people and winning. I think before he's like, I want to drive him into the ground and win. And now he's just like, if I win, it doesn't matter. We can talk about TNA on the air now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can give him a rub. It doesn't matter.
Because he has no competition.
Yeah, that's his. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I think he kind of. If you asked him, you know, he'd say, "Oh, I'm glad that we won, and I'm still proud." But I really think if it was just you and him, and it was off the record, he'd be like, "Man, it sucks that there's not deals every week." You know, like I think that because I mean that was the best product. I mean, it's the best for any form of entertainment or any form of business. I mean, if you have to have really legitimate competition to make the best products, the best entertainment, the best everything. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree entirely. I will say this. I was very surprised that he came out so early. I thought for sure he'd be like a solid like 10, 15, maybe even like a 20 for like a late game debut to where they get him like in and out. But for him to come in at 3 and then for Reigns to just clear Rusev as fast as he did and just I know people were complaining that they didn't get to see the Titantron on his debut. The look on Reigns' face was enough. Like when the crowd popped and then Reigns' eyes got about that big, I was like, "Oh, it's him."
Yeah. See, and that's the thing though. Everyone always was like, you know, Reigns doesn't sell. He's a no-sell dude. That he made that debut better, and I will. My hat is off to Reigns on that because he made before. I mean, like that he suspended my disbelief. I legit for a split second, I legitimately thought I was like, man, Reigns. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we do this show like we are super smart, and I was like, you know, Reigns looks legit scared. Like, dude, it's been a long time since the WWE has made me feel that way, and I really appreciate the Royal Rumble, and I'm really hoping this is just like, yeah, dude, the goosebumps were there. I'm really hoping that this is just like the beginning of another new year, you know, like but a solid new year, you know.
Oh, I can't get them off of my triceps. They're still there. Like, it was just here's the thing. I'll hate on Reigns all I want for him getting laid out by Rusev and then go and take a nap in the back. That's worth complaining about. He helped make Styles' debut because just his reaction and his like disbelief and just shaking his head like, what are you doing here? No, like that was perfect. Like it was perfect. And Reigns is bad at a lot of things. But he's also good at a lot of things too. You know what I mean? Like he has those glimmers. I can see why they want him to be the guy. He's got glimmers of excellence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and AJ coming in at 3 was a glimmer of excellence right when it needed to be. And the fact that they had Jericho work with him most of the time is perfect because Jericho's the vet. Jericho's been there. He's done that. He could talk AJ through the unique spots of the Royal Rumble. You know, so. Yeah. It helps. It definitely helped. And then Kane came in and, you know, Kane did a little bit with him. Big Show did a little bit with him. I noticed that a lot of guys that AJ really did some bumps and spots with were vets, except for the bump, like the teasers with Neville. I'm glad they didn't waste the clash. I am very glad they did not waste it in a chaotic Rumble because I'm hoping we'll get a payoff either tonight or at Fastlane, or even hell, don't let him hit it for 2 months and let the payoff be at Mania. Like that'd be cool. You know, like just have it teased every match and just people reverse it. They throw him off their back every time. And then
like they did with Hideo.
Exactly. Except actually at Mania and not some stupid fan access thing because we didn't get to fucking see it. You know, like I saw somebody record it from their cell phone. That's how I got to see Hideo do the GTS.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, exciting, super exciting. Kevin Owens was the perfect guy to eliminate him because he's the guy who like can never keep heat because he's so good. That's how you keep heat on Kevin Owens. You have him eliminate AJ Styles. And Kevin Owens has a lot of ways to go right now. Yeah. Back to Ambrose, to Styles, to Zayn, because Zayn debuted, which
Now,
was
Ambrose and
fantastic.
Jericho, Ambrose and heel Jericho is happening.
I
That's
think
happening.
I think so. I think that's where they're going to go with it. But I would also be intrigued with Ambrose, Styles, Zayn, and Owens in a fatal four-way for the IC title at Mania.
Oh
That would
God,
be
yeah. Oh yeah, to tie them
that
all
would
in
be great.
together. Oh.
And I will tell you how they should have done that, how they should have set that up once we get to the final four of the Royal Rumble. So what the only nitpick thing was that after the Wyatts ganged up on Lesnar, I thought for sure that Lesnar was going to come back in and take out Wyatt. Like I thought for sure that was going to happen, but for some reason it didn't. And I'm so glad that Wyatt and Lesnar is happening, dude. I wish it would be for the title though.
Oh yeah.
Like I wish it. I explained this fan theory to Corey. I said at WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker. At WrestleMania 31, The Undertaker beat Bray Wyatt. At WrestleMania 32, you have Bray Wyatt beat Brock Lesnar. And then you have a trifecta of superpowers, like the Phenom, the New Face of Fear, and the Beast. They are three top-tier guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I know they're really
They all have one win. They all have one loss.
exactly against each other. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how you really make Wyatt a mainstay. And I know Wyatt's been like the curse of, kind of like Cesaro with the trigger finger kind of booking. But I think in the next 2 months, you really need to book him super strong if you're going to do something like that. They probably won't. They'll probably have Brock beat him, which is fine. I don't mind. You know me. I'm
How
a
many more
Brock
years
mark.
does Brock have?
Brock's got 2 more. He just signed at 30.
2 more years?
Yeah, he signed a 3-year deal at 30. So he's got 31, 32, and 33. So he's got this year. I'm sorry. He's got 1 more full year. And then if he signs an extension.
So he's only got 1 more full year?
I think so, yeah.
He might. Then you know what? Then he might. If he had 2 years left, I don't think they would do it. I think that they would wait till his final year to start putting guys over on him. But I think that once he's done with his contract, he's not signing an extension. He's made enough money.
I don't think he's going to.
And he's done. He does not give a shit. Once he makes the money that he wants, he's done. So I mean, I agree. I think that Wyatt would be the guy that it would make sense for him to go over on Lesnar. You could even without tearing down Lesnar, you could bring in the whole family involved. They all just beat the hell out of the guy. That's the only way it would make sense, and he doesn't lose any shine really.
Exactly.
And I agree. It's a great fantasy booking idea.
Yeah, and then even if you want, like, Wyatt can be that guy for Reigns to work towards in the future. Like Reigns becomes that mainstay like The Undertaker was, or like Lesnar is. Like he's that big guy. So like I think it's a smart way to go. I just don't know if they're gonna do it. So I we'll see. My thing with Ambrose is when it got down to the final four, I was like, okay, Ambrose is the cannon fodder, and so is Sheamus. Like, that's what I figured immediately. I was right about Sheamus. I did not expect Triple H to just dump Reigns like he did. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. Ambrose might actually win and be double champ, because immediately I thought 2 things. I thought, holy shit, they might let Ambrose do like Rollins did and hold both titles, which would have been fantastic. Like, I'd be cool with that. Secondly, and this is what they really should have done if they wanted to set up that fatal 4-way. When Ambrose started pumping himself up, like after he took his shirt off, just have him jump over the top rope. Turn heel. Back the Authority. Stab Reigns in the back. Triple H wins. It's the biggest Royal Rumble screw job you've ever seen. You have heel Ambrose, heel Owens, face Zayn, face Styles. For Fastlane, you set up Styles versus Ambrose. And I mean, Zayn and Owens, obviously. And then Mania, you have the fatal 4-way. I mean, that could have been one way to do it. I'm happy with
or you could even have had Ambrose win the title. What I was thinking is have Ambrose win the title and then have Reigns do the heel turn, since that's what the smart crowd has always been begging for, is turn Reigns heel. And then now it's like, man, this is such a smarky show. AJ Styles is on the show. Maybe they will turn Reigns heel. I got so wrapped up because it was such a good Royal Rumble, man.
It was such a good Rumble. And you know what? I heard there was a lot of bitching today, dude. Like here's what I don't understand.
Dude, first of all, I have to say this. Before we go any further. I am pumped as hell that Triple H is the champion right now.
Right?
I love it. because his matches are phenomenal. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. Like, he is still great. There's no way he's got worse, guys. Like, what? Who else could possibly be the heel champ right now? I mean, maybe Owens. Like, in the
Owens or Wyatt.
who could possibly be the champ right now within their storylines? Like, of course, there's plenty of people that we would want to see to be the champ, like Wyatt or Owens or whatever. But come on, man. Like, Triple H makes the most sense. Like, and no one can discredit him. He is elevating the title by holding it. He is helping the title by holding it.
Yep.
It's not like help build them. Triple H is making the title more legitimate. And the match that he's going to have, the one-on-one, which is going to be the main event at Mania with Roman Reigns, is going to be epic. And he's probably going to win at Fastlane. He's probably going to wrestle 3 times. He'll probably wrestle at the Rumble, at Fastlane, and at Mania. He'll probably lose at Mania, but he's probably going to win at Fastlane. And I dare say the Fastlane match might be better than the Mania match.
I think the Fastlane match will have more time than the Mania match because there's just so much that goes into Mania. Here's my thing. Here's the thing. There was so much bitching this morning about how Triple H buried the entire roster. I first have a smart-ass answer, and then second, I have a real answer. First, you get the smart-ass answer. Smart-ass Matt says, Triple H didn't come out till 30, and they were down to like 7 or 8. So really, he only buried 8 people, not 29. Okay, so that's smart-ass Matt. Now, let me give you a factual answer here. Triple H makes sense from a story standpoint. Like, to elevate this story into the next spot, it makes sense for him to win. They screwed Reigns all the way up until Survivor Series and at TLC. Reigns snapped and beat the dog shit out of Triple H. Then, instead of getting some revenge on Roman Reigns goes on for over a month and a half of making the Authority look like his bitch. A month and a half. Who does that? They went with the Austin approach. And I'm sorry, but even when Austin was on his build, Austin got boned every now and again. This is Reigns getting boned. Yeah. Vince won. Like Austin's gone. Vince is still there. Vince won. Like, Austin did not win. So Reigns is not going to win all the time. This is Vince and Triple H getting what is coming. Like, the payoff is Mania. Everybody knows the payoff is Mania. This is the second to last step to that payoff. And it's going to happen, and it's perfect. I'm totally fine with Triple H being a 14-time champ. Let that son of a bitch beat Ric Flair's record instead of Cena. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You know?
Yes. Honestly, like, the thing that everyone else smarts are going to hate me for this, but I say he won the title. Let's just throw him back in the mix for another year or so. Why not let him do both? Why not let him be a working man? Why? Why not?
I mean, like, here's my thing. They're not like not a majority, but like there's some parts of the IWC that are legitimately unhappy. My question is, what more do you want? You got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dean Ambrose, AJ fucking Styles in one goddamn match. And you're pissed because Triple H won? Like AJ winning at the Royal Rumble would not have made you happy. You'd have bitched about him burying the roster too on his debut. I guarantee it. There's no pleasing some of these people, man. Like,
yeah. Hey guy.
Like AJ would win and go, they put the title on a no-name hack who's never been in the E. Like, that's exactly what they would say. Yeah, like, it's just a total bullshit.
People are stupid. They're so stupid. They would keyboard rage about it, but not spell half of their words right. It would be
it blows my mind that, like, and I understand why the E doesn't care what the internet people say, man. Like, because no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, unless it's Daniel Bryan, nobody's happy.
Yeah.
like I mean, and even when it's Daniel Bryan, they're not happy because they're like, God, it took Bryan forever. He's a fucking goat. Just when is he gonna retire? Like, it never ends. Never. No. It never ends. You people are what's wrong here. I'm heel turning. You people are what's wrong with this goddamn show.
True. One of you. And as this show went on, we all tried to, because we make ourselves do this and we cross when we're talking about the product, which is pretty much all WWE that we talk about. We've talked about branching out, but honestly, it's because we actually have lives and things to do that we miss shows to begin with. So it's really hard for us to cover anything else other than what's talked about the most, what's in the sheets the most, and that's always going to be WWE. We talk about NXT, we talk about WWE. That's pretty much it. Like, we started like podcast, webcast thing because we were like, yeah, you know what? The super IWC, we need a voice out there, and all these podcasts are burying us. And then now that we do this show, we realize why we got buried so poorly. The stupidest things. And then you don't like, it's like you want the company to be bad. That's what you want. You want it to be like, because people will say like, oh, and this is the kicker to me. People will be like, oh yeah, the writing is so bad right now, and then turn right around and be like, and the Attitude Era, it was overrated, and it's like, what? Why are you a wrestling fan? If you literally didn't like the three most popular times of professional wrestling, why are you here? Who are you talking to? Like, you know what I mean? It's like they oh god. They can't get a collector, which is the worst. Like, they really want a voice. They want to be heard by the company, but they can't get one collective idea because they all say, like, hey, let's push in. Hey, why aren't you pushing Cesaro? Why aren't you pushing Cesaro? And then nobody buys his merch. And then they bitch because he's got, oh, well, he had 20 minutes with John Cena in the Open Challenge, which was an amazing match over. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Like, ugh.
Because if you don't go over, you're being buried in your jobbing. Clearly you're jobbing.
Oh yeah. That's what I love too. It's like if you lose, no matter what, you're like just a jobber. No matter what your accolades are, you lose to a guy that they don't like. If you're a jobber, now you're in Job City. You're a job brony. No, all those words are not true. Okay, they are good workers. They are doing what they were told to do, and they are making more money than you will ever make thinking about this business. So why? Include just opinions on YouTube for us. And we're content with that. We enjoy doing this with each other, but we're not, neither one of us is naive enough to think that like we honestly could really do that, Jack. We would love to talk about it. We always like bullshit about the factors. Now, if there's a team of creative people, like 12 of them, sure, we could probably hold a chair, but I could not book the show. I could not be Vince McMahon. There's no way. There's too many options. Yeah. And there's no way I would do it perfectly. No way. Maybe on a committee, sure. I could be on a committee, no problem. The chairman, dude, I would buckle day one. One day I would buckle.
Like, you couldn't be Vince and I couldn't be Pat. Like, or I couldn't be Vince and you couldn't be Pat.
But if there's a committee like there is now, there are writers, I would totally throw my name in the hat for that.
Yeah, I think we could do that. Like, I think we could help with that. Maybe not be like mainstays, but like we could help with that. Like, I feel like we could contribute. You know, like we'll have a morsel. Like a mere morsel, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but
I mean, half the shit that we predict on here that the IWC doesn't want to hear, we end up being right anyway. So at least we'd stay under the radar and keep our paychecks.
Hey, nothing like keeping a paycheck. Shit. You know? But I mean, yeah, it's just you want to know what my biggest bitch about the Royal Rumble is? My biggest bitch is that AJ Styles' shirt sold out before I could go buy one right after the Rumble went off the air. It was gone by 10 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah.
Gone. The only shirt of his they had was 3X and 5X. And I may be a fat ass Mark, but I ain't that fat.
That's true. I mean, you could have got the big one, though, and then just, like, cut it up and, like, your wife done something cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Like, I could have made a blanket out of it, you know, but whatever. You know?
A poncho.
Yeah. I mean, but I'll wait, and then I'll get the extra large, like I know I need, and everything will be all right. I'll get the second round, and then while I'm at it, I'll put more money on the side, and I'll get the gloves.
Oh, you know what I did get, though, on Amazon last night?
What, bruh?
I got the 2006 Best of AJ Styles double DVD from TNA.
Yeah.
You know how much you paid for it?
Probably like $250.
$3.99.
I was close.
And it was Amazon Prime, so free shipping.
Oh, free shipping 2 days? Oh, you can't beat that.
I know. $4.
We're not sponsored, but you son of a bitch, you should have Amazon Prime because it's worth it. Yo, Amazon.
Just let them just buy team. Just so they can use like highlight footage just for like the Titantron videos. That's it. Not even like put out anything or they could put out something like Rise and Fall of TNA, but that would get like 6 views. So, I mean, I see why they wouldn't do
You know
that.
what
But
though? The E has some kind of deal with Ring of Honor and New Japan. I'm sure they're gonna
yeah,
have
so they can
footage
use.
of him.
Yeah, well, see, I think it's on TNA's side. I think it's TNA thinking that they still honestly believe they're in the number 2 promotion around, period, which is very laughable. And I honestly think that they would say no. I think that they would say no, even if it would help them, because they're that stupid.
Oh yeah, they'd say no, but like I'm pretty sure because the E has run a bunch of articles, like especially on Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins are two big examples. Even
Oh
Punk,
yeah,
they mention
yeah,
Ring of Honor all the
everything.
time.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure like if they don't keep the AJ I'm phenomenal Titantron, they're gonna get some stuff from either Ring of Honor or they're gonna use his Rumble highlights tonight. Like I mean, the dude did enough of his stuff. Like he did a lot of his stuff. Like he did the flying forearm smash, he did the Pele kick, he teased the Clash like 3 times. I tell you what, if 38-year-old AJ Styles busts out the spiral tap, I'm gonna pop like a motherfucker.
I don't think he will. How long do you
I
think
don't
he's
think he
gonna
will
work?
either. He's to the point where he doesn't have to work that crazy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but how long do you think he's gonna keep working?
I hear he's got a multi-year deal, so it's probably at least 3 years. Um, if his body can hold up to the E's schedule, and depending on what his schedule is, I don't know if he's live events. I don't know if he's full time. I don't know if he's just TV.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty
sure
sure.
he's
I'm pretty sure
full-time.
he's full too. If he's
At least for the
full
first year.
time, yeah. If he's full, I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's got at least 3 years. Like he'll go until at least 42, 43. And then depending on how he feels after that, we'll decide if he does a
Like a 2-year extension or 1-year extension. Yeah.
I don't see him because he's always said that he wants to be able to walk away from the business and not get carried away.
Right.
So I think I really don't know if he'll sign an extension. I think he's going to be 3 and done, to be honest.
That's okay.
And I'm cool with that. That gives him 2 more Rumbles. That gives him 3 Manias. Like I'm totally good with that. Like, that's what I wanted out of Sting, but I'm gonna have to settle for 1, and that's fine. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, but he's a lot younger than Sting.
Well, and I agree, and that's fine. But like, I don't see AJ doing like Taker. I don't see AJ going till 50. I don't see AJ going till 48. To be honest with you,
I see him going to about 45. Honestly, I think he's gonna work about 5 more years, 5, 6 more years.
And see, I agree, and I think Cena's kind of on the same page. I think Cena will go until he's like 45, and then he'll switch to a backstage role because he's not leaving the E. He's gonna be E till he dies.
No, he's not. No, he'll go try to be The Rock. Straight up, he's gonna go be in Hollywood.
You think?
And honestly, I think he's only gonna work another maybe 2 years at most.
I don't know. I think he's got more time than I won't say more time than AJ. I think they'll probably leave at about the same time.
I don't think so, man. I think John's only got about 2 years left, to be real.
Well, we will see.
I think that's why they're signing all these guys.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, they're also just trying to influx talent because of all their injuries too. I mean, they got a lot of people hurt, man.
Yeah, a lot.
They got to create a buzz. I mean, and then of course now you have the constant machine of having to keep feeding NXT because as you call guys up, you need more people, and you need to keep NXT interesting with hot indie signs. So I mean, it's
Balor
the machine,
Club's
man.
gonna be cool. I can't wait for Shinsuke to be on.
Balor Club
WWE
needs to turn
TV.
heel. Finn needs
for
to turn
sure.
heel.
For
and
sure.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
I really think it's going to happen with this Apollo Crews match.
Yeah.
I haven't read spoilers, but I know that Gallows and Anderson are not coming until at least February, like after February, because they're under contract.
I think that they're coming until Takeover, until the Takeover.
Right, the Mania Takeover. I think that'll be.
I don't think any of them are coming until at least then, and they might keep Nakamura off until Markamania.
Ooh, you think he's coming main roster?
Shinsuke?
I mean, I'd like him main roster, but do you think that they're going to put him on? I originally heard that him and AJ were coming main roster. Then I heard a follow-up that he's going to NXT. until
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah. It's
see how
not
his promo
gonna
stuff
work.
is.
If he's going asking to go to NXT, because there's no way they just probably need some more development. There's no way. Go to NXT though. I mean, he may know about the buzz. He may be like, you know what? Let me start off there. Let me work on my promo stuff. Let me do whatever it is I want to do. Maybe get a manager, figure out how that's all going to work out. I don't know. Maybe he's better at English than Hideo. I haven't seen him speak English ever though. So
He's fluent.
I don't know.
Apparently, he's fluent because apparently he's fluent in English. I just don't know how hard his accent is. I mean, the guy's got a
It doesn't matter
personality
how
where
the
he
accent.
doesn't.
Yeah, but they say Hideo's fluent too, and you really hear it. Like they say Asuka's semi-fluent. Come on, like
Yeah,
they can speak English. Like they can, but you know what I mean. Like it's not
it's broken
fluent like
English.
Del Rio's pretty fluent. You know what I mean? Like he's got a hard accent, but he's pretty fluent. Like
Yeah,
fluent, but
we'll see. We can fantasy book all night, man. But we're right at 7 o'clock, and my DVR's going. So yeah. I'm Matt. He's Dan. We're Mouth of the Mark. This is the Royal Rumble review. We're going to watch Raw. And then later this week, we're going to drop a week in wrestling because this is going to be a smarky ass Raw. I'm Matt. He's Dan. We're
yeah.
out.
Peace.